0, 1. Let's get started.
Met up with a friend of mine named Mike who did the Normotnic Trimix class with me a little over a year ago. He's been out, couldn't dive for a while because he sprung his ankle, and so he's been healing for a while, and I guess he got the flu, but he's finally back in the water, and so we got at it today. We took out our rebreathers. I'm in my Sidewinder, and he's in his Spirit. Once we got our buoyancy all situated down below, we started our dive in about 6 feet of water. We also had our scooters. And so I'm going to try again using my Insta360. I haven't had a lot of success with it, but I think the last couple of clips here worked out really well. I did make a big mistake, and I forgot to fasten two of the clasps that hold down the case together. So I did get a little bit of flooding, but nothing happened to the camera, which I'm really surprised. I think I'm going to use my scooter more often because it really is fun to kind of get into the canyon using your scooters, and then you just kind of clip it off and do some observation of fish. We were able to get into the canyon quick enough using the scooters. And then once we got to about 80-90 feet, we clipped off our scooters and just kind of looked for marine life. Visibility wasn't the greatest, I'll have to admit. Visibility has been the worst I've seen it since when we had red tide. So it was really mucky, and I think my GoPro actually makes the visibility look nicer than it really was. But all in all, definitely not the greatest of viz. But that said, because the visibility wasn't that great, it was really more of a night dive, and there were a lot more octopus than I normally would see. Here's Mike, got his trim down. He was thinking he didn't get his trim down that good, but he actually looked really good today for a guy who hasn't been in the water for several months. Here's that iconic Viacitas point. We ended up ascending from 90 feet to about 55, 60 feet where Viacitas is, and we just kind of followed the wall all the way down. Here is the largest octopus that we saw. It was kind of hiding in a hole, well, maybe sort of like a divot in the wall, but it was a fairly large octopus, probably about the size of my hand. I don't know if that's its eggs sitting right next to it, but there were several other very small octopus swimming about. As you can see here, here's a little guy who's probably about the half of my palm size, and another little guy about half palm size. There were multiple octopus out because it was really dark. I think they were out getting their breakfast. Started heading south, and you can see here some calico bass. Again, visibility is not the greatest, so the camera just really couldn't get a very good clear shot of the calicos. But yeah, it was still really fun to get wet, and I'm glad Mike was able to get into the water again. Hoping that we can dive more often, because he's the only other person that I know that actually dives another rebreather locally. There's still a lot of salops out floating about freely. Here's a single guy. It wasn't like a huge colony, but we did see multiple calicos all out and about, and I did get one string of salops that were really cool together. So here it is. It was a fairly long salop. I probably think that this one was about 3 feet long. Again, wanted to get some footage of me in my rebreather, so here I am at depth, and then I think I got another video of myself in the shallows, but got to the very edge, and that was the sheephead den, and then we ended our dive in about 3 feet of water. Hope to see you down below.